Previously on Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker.
But they got pizza. I want some pizza. Oh, Gra's loving that burger. That's huge. Daggone, that burger is the size of her head. That's some good physics going on.
Yeah, I really like, where is it at? Yeah, eat pizza. Such a goofy emote, dude. It's so goofy. Oh, Krill and Graha right here. I hope you didn't mind us barging into your room for a late night feast. For what it's worth, it did me a world of good to put our troubles to one side, if only for a moment. Yeah, that's true. It's nice to have a little moment with everybody. Alright, Krill, what are we gonna be doing? Or Cryo. Is that a classroom? Sound the bell, school's in. Cryo and Grahatia were having a pleasant conversation until you barged in. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't expect that. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope. I was about to make my way to the studium. As it happens, I wanted to try and speak with the Scholararch, Montichaigne, and thank him for coming to our rescue in Rastra. As it turns out, he'll come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we have already departed for Thafnir. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cod with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Y'shtola and the others, I thought now that the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Yeah, sure, let's do it. Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. He's been playing with his Sage toys a whole lot. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Phenomena. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studio for a time. That might be the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Alrighty. Gonna be okay sitting here, buddy? Unlike some of the Scions, I am not an alumni of the studio. As such, I have no acquaintance there I am obliged to visit. And while I would love nothing more than to pore over the many great tomes of Phenomenon, I fear my presence there would stir up more unwanted trouble. So, for now, I'll be patient, much as it pains me to do so. Oh, sorry, Graha. Well, we'll see you later, man. Oh, there they are. Yeah, he's stressing them out. I knew it. Look at him. If Father can master these fiendish contraptions, then so can I. Maybe that's the reason why he didn't really learn, what's it called? Let me get there real quick. Yeah. Cardia. Yeah, he didn't use Cardia on me the other day, and I was like, come on, Alphino, you gotta know, the Cardia. You gotta know Cardia, man. You gotta put Cardia on me, and then we get going. But anyways, yeah. That's fine. I'm pretty sure you probably learn it. Maybe right here he learns it. Alize. Hey, now for the stroll. Himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dreaded the thought of visiting the studio. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino, of all people, worrying over his reputation, and at our alma meter, no less. Well, wanderers never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. I guess Alphino's done training. See that sculpted picture above the entrance? That's the mark of the Thalic, the scholar, bearer of the waters of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that the Garlean itself is one enormous shrine to him, and that's especially noticeable here in the studio. I don't see it. Talking about that water that's flowing down right there? I thought maybe it was the statue out there. Alright, Alphino. It feels like only yesterday that I first walked through these doors. Here it is, the phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on an official business, correct? Yeah, this is the first time I've been here. While most of the place is taken up by the expansive auditorium, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices, and so forth. As the center of what would later become the Studium, it was established to promote the study of etherological phenomena, hence the name. Though with the ether being a fundamental aspect of the nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life, even the universe itself. And then in the 432nd year of the 6th astral era, phenomenon was decreed complete and the Studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question that the world's leading authority in ethereology, the archon, the occult, the astronomy, and the countless of other fields stand proud as Garlean's foremost educational institute. Bunch of nerds. It's just kidding. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, as I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same fappish speech, such as his underlying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then, so youngest to enter the Studium, graduated with the highest honors in magical arts and etherology, an undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Okay. Hold on. You both joined the Studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Prodigious scholars. They're pretty much on the same level. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me. Nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I am certainly not the Studium's most notorious master debater. Yeah, you kind of got your own thing going on. In all respects, I have ever been in his shadow. If nothing else, I just remembered that this was where the legend of Alphino Liviere began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent expeditions. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone to adoration the student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Maybe. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for the scholar arc, Montichaigne. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wherever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Alright, let's do it. I think I went into this building a little while back, but I definitely want to go in a little bit further. I only ventured in to maybe right here, and then I was like, okay, cool, going back out. It's Alphino himself in the flesh. He spoke to me. He actually spoke to me. Oh, wow, they're all excited about him. Dang, Alphino, you famous, buddy. I assure you, I'll tell you all about it after my business with this scholar arc has concluded. The scholar arc? Tell me, my good fellow, does this have something to do with saving the world from catastrophe? Might we turn our attention to Master Louis Liviere, graduation thesis? I too have my doubts regarding our policy of non-intervention. Is it true that your experiences overseas are the reason you have incurred the ear of the forum? Oh, what I would have given to see you butt heads with those cold Cotters? Cockers? I don't think I've ever heard of the word cockers. No, that's interesting. And then you see Alize over here with just 2 people. Alphino's the most famous one. To be honest, I really like Alize. Things were bad enough during our school days, and Alphino's time abroad has only heightened his fame, or should that be infamy. He had his rivals and detractors, of course, though most of them gave that up after his adoring fans set upon them like ravenous dogs. Alphino, on the other hand, never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. Oh yeah, he had that very cocky attitude back then. I don't know, I always kind of liked both of them, to be honest. I like that they have their own personality more. That's what I'm looking for. Like, I really like that they kind of established their characters a little bit more now. That was Alphino Olivier, wasn't it? The Alphino Olivier? And he's with his sister, the Master Baldesion's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of approach-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. You good, man? Oh, sorry, you said you're looking for the Scholar Arc, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere, but Miss Alphapo should have a better idea. Oh, there she is. Unsurprisingly, the Scholar Arc is not in his office. I did, however, speak with one student who saw him not long ago, so he can't have gone far. It's the classroom? Yeah, it's definitely a classroom. This place really gives huge, it gives really huge, like, college vibes. That's what it gives, like college vibes. Are you lost? Wandering half the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is ordered. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you will find in the studio? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why? That's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal in here as at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors, I was going to say tortures, tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Per se, this tongue of gigatoad, that it's enough to make your hair stand on end, which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. The only thing I'm interested in cleaning is information on the Scholar Arc's whereabouts. So, come back with him with attitude? I've tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. I kind of like a... This one seems less aggressive. I always want to go with the less aggressive take. So what you're telling me is that you're not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for a Scholar Arc? I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock, but I can't... Oh, you mean him? Well, duh, who else? He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Okay, cool, thanks. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Okay, that's very weird. Huh. In the time it's taken me to tell you all of this, the Scholararch has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Okay. Well, they did say he loves to just run around aimlessly. Yes, the Scholararch was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research paper, or project. Though we speak at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps one of the auditoriums. Okay. Giving me the runaround, I see. Oh, yep, that's them. Let me do this lookout real quick, though. Oh, looking around at the classroom. Cool. Let me see. Yeah, definitely giving me university vibes. Man, it's been a while. It's kind of nostalgic.
Ah, I remember you.
Oh, yeah.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
That is true.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galef and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you.
Makes sense.
I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Montoya's prize student.
You can say that.
Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
Alrighty. Seems like a nice guy.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy.
Makes sense.
Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Looks like we're getting a school lesson. Okay. Shouldn't have brought some snacks.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology.
Oh, we're being
The
tested.
ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms. 2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
The soul, the memory, the corporal ether?
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
Right.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
Could it be the towers?
The 7th Umbral Calamity.
Oh, that's right.
The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
That is true.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act.
Interesting. Okay.
The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Garlean prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea.
Wow. That sounds kind of messed up, really. It's almost like they took their free will to speak, in a way.
For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose.
He pressed the undo button. And he pressed undo again.
But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
we are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet.
Yeah. I'm still trying to process that last one. Interesting. That's cute.
I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Oh, well, thank you. I did not attend this school.
And I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Garlean, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
He was great. He was a great guy. Alrighty. While scholar Montichaigne is best known for his role as the head of the studium, he is said to be one of the finest mages Garlean has ever perceived. Having seen for himself the ease with which he waves extraordinary, complex, and powerful magics, I have no reason to doubt the claim. Yeah, he seems really good. Some of my earliest memories of the Scholar Arc, Montichaigne, actually he was a close friend of our grandfather. He would come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with the paper and ink. He's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the studium in the first place. Interesting, okay. Alright, Kryle, what's next on the list? A capital idea. Kryle is still discussing a rather hefty portion of food for thought. Yeah, that last part really was a lot. I'm still thinking about it. Okay, well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives and the mysteries of life itself for good measures. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebated than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. Me too. And on that note, let's head on back to the Enix. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with Qual Ale as the Scholar Arc suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. Alright, sounds good. I was wanting to check it out anyways. See you guys in a bit. Oh, I need a disciple of hand or land. Yeah, I don't have any that's close to level, like. Yeah, none of them are even close. They're all below 10. I need to work on that. Maybe during my off time, when I have time to actually do something, I'll work on some crafting. Okay, so we have Asinian, Alphino, Alice, Kryle, Graha. Where? Oh, Yashola, Thankard, and Yuri Anjay went out there. Okay. Okay. Let's talk to them. Asinian returned not long after we departed for the studium. A shame that he missed the chance to attend our lecture with the Scholar Arc. Or perhaps not. I'm sure he would not be interested. Having spent most of the time in Thafnir, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land here in Garlean. Even finding my way to the Enix provided a challenge. You better not let your guard down. Around key. One small favor becomes another, then another, and before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some rubbish. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics, and as the scholar said, it could also lead to interesting discoveries. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out one day. It seems I've done an adequate job of relying Scholar Montichaigne's lecture to Raha. Given his experience in the field of souls and memories, he had no trouble understanding it. Oh, really? Well, Graha, give me the details, man. Give me the deets. Welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow Scions. As expected, news of the warding scales was met with much joy, and preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Laminza. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilebrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of the storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Hey man, you're big, tall, and strong. Phew, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vitra and the alchemists of the Great Work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the Forum's watchful gaze, I have a little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my captivity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that might go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. To Limsa Laminza. Alright, well, let's get it going. I wasn't expecting to go back to Eorzea, but that makes sense. You gonna be fine over here? I mean, you gonna be fine here? If you learn aught of our interests, be sure to let me know. In the meantime, I will do what I can to aid our cause, though. I fear that will be precious little given to the circumstances. Gotcha. Alrighty. I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Caesar and the Sultana, 3 of the most powerful women in the world, in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? No, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. It's always so weird trying to eat something and read out loud. My apologies for calling you away from Garlean at short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. So it's only right that this discussion is to be conducted in person. I agree. We are locked in a war of adoration. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it's only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will be claimed through the decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? Yeah, because I don't know if you can go right in there. We got talismans for you, though. It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Garlean, the allied nations have been engaged on the separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of Cabals, Shahagins, Axels, and Anata have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Razat Han has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace, and it is you, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Teleforay at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Isambard contingent. Yeah, let's do it. To think such progress has been made in a short a span. Yeah. So I was right. Garlemald is going to be the next place we're going to be going. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tampered, robbed of their free will. They will serve the Teleforay every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it's the right thing to do. I did not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I only ask in that choosing to remember we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. On that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is reason to believe the smaller spheres are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Teleforay. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Yustola's analysis of the tower's influence on the ethereal currents. Based on her observations, inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harassed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good, but what would you have us do? I assume it's more than heading over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Isambard contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Why are you looking at me? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Alright, I guess. For honor and glory, for the people of Garlemald, for revenge against the Teleforay. I say for the people of Garlemald. That feels so much more in line with what we're trying to do. Couldn't have put it better myself. Yustola, Thancred, and Urianger have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ishabard. And I love this song, it's so good, I just want to listen to it. Okay. Raban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telephore so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge of Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Cool. Dun, 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 dun. Oh gosh, look at all these people. Well, I'm still gonna do my fluff dialogue even though there's a lot of people here. Helize? You know, I'm quite looking forward to seeing who's been selected for the Ishabard contingent. I have a few people in mind. Care to make a friendly wager? You, Alphino, and I'm gonna say Graha. I don't know how many we're trying to do though. Oh man, this is all rather daunting, though not quite in the way I was expecting. We'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with our allies' finest, the best of the best, the warrior of light and, well, me. It's silly, I know. Perhaps this is my way of distracting myself from the part I should be worried about. Marching into Garlean. Yeah. I don't blame you. I must quiz Thancred and Urianger on the conditions we can expect in Garlean. I know it's cold, but how cold? Will I need to keep my ears covered? They can be a bit sensitive at times. Haha, that's cute. There we go. If Emmerich asks after me, say I give in on the fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the cord. Oh, okay. Fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is settling into life as a scion. Yeah, he's doing well. Collaborations never was his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off he'd go, like a Garlean cat swept up in a strong breeze. But rest assured, he will always be there when you need him, probably. Yeah, it's true. Ah, the Wanderer's return. Hold on, let me fix this. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding skills of yours are what made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Emmerich be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ishabard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops beyond enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side charging into the fray. Alas, I have battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Emmerich's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Ishabard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Oh, hey, Gaius. Much has occurred since we parted ways in Warlot. From what I gathered, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlean, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us? Yeah, that's his home. Strange. I thought you have a stake in this. I do. The Telefori have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every amount of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone will place the entire mission in jeopardy. Oh, really? Okay. Stand accused of murdering Emperor Varius and plunging Garlean into chaos. Were I to travel with the Isabar contingent, it will give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I will only hinder your efforts. I can understand. We will deliver your people from harm in your stead. I doubt they will be pleased to see the champion Eosia set foot in Eosia soul. That is a pretty good one to throw out there. I understand Warlot is in your hands. I'll give him more faith that we got it pretty much taken care of. For what it's worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I am certain of it. In light of Gaia's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Oh, really, Maxima, you come with us? Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlean endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? Nice. You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. And if I don't see you again, ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you all of you. Well, thank you. Let's do this thing. I'm ready to go to Garlean. I'm really curious what it's like. And, oh gosh, so many people. I'm really curious to see what it's like and what the music is like too. I suppose it's easy for some people to forget there are civilians in Garlean too, when the only Imperials they've ever known are soldiers. Yeah, that is true. Regardless of how my countrymen receive you, the Code will not treat you kindly. Underestimate it at your peril. Okay. With the knowledge that our allies will hold the lines in our absence, we may devote our attention to the Ishbardian front. Let's do it. So that Gaius Belzar, the horrors he must have seen, many of his own making, I do not doubt. Maybe. Like Gaius, I too stand accused of various murder, though I am rather less recognizable on sight. Still, it's something to bear in mind once we reach Garlean. I didn't even think of that. I neglected to mention earlier that we received a report from our troops that may be of interest to you. While engaged with a lunar primal, a great worm swooped down from the skies above and came to their aid. This worm, as described, was the spitting image of Tiamat. For everyone on YouTube that kept on saying it's Vitra, not Tiamat, I didn't even know who Vitra was until this point, to be honest. But they even thought the same thing too. Okay, continuing on. It would seem she continues to wage a war against the Telefori. It's actually Vitra. It's actually Vitra. Once we've seen the contingent on its way, I will return to my duties here in Alamigo. Or it might actually have been Tiamat. It could have been Tiamat. As many of our most capable will be traveling with you to Garlemald, we who remain will have to fight that much harder to make it up the difference, but let no man say I did not welcome the challenge. Aye, this old bull isn't ready to hang up his horns yet. Let's get it. Best of the best. Maximo would have you meet your new traveling companions. Okay, who is it? Whoa, everyone just turned their way towards me. Okay, the other members of the Ishabar contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. Ah, the remaining members of the Scions, your friends and most of the Ishabar contingent await you within. Would you like me to see you through? Yes, let's go.
By the 12.
Oh man, that's a lot of people. Hey. Oh, there's several people from different
Glad you could join us.
classes and
I
jobs.
hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Nice to see you.
Lucia.
So she
I've
coming with
come
us?
at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, she is the perfect fit to come with us because she's Garlemald herself. Or Garlean herself.
We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall.
Oh. And we do it together. My bad.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone!
Graha in the back.
Your attention.
Yep, I remember these guys. It's a good thing I've done every job. Seriously. Up to a certain point, of course.
Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must, I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer, we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
Sounds a lot older than he looks.
Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
No, that's so nice that he recognized me too. I wonder if everyone's gonna say something. Oh, Sicard.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlean, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do.
Nice.
Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it.
Okay.
Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
All right.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest.
Yeah, they got Black Mage and Monk.
If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the avatar of destruction.
How did she hear about that? Someone's been snitching.
With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
I really hope we get a time skip at the end of this expansion.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies.
Yeah, I see the Machinist Guild over there.
Bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission.
Machinists!
Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa.
Okay. So no Dark Knight, I guess.
Another awaiting introduction.
Oh my gosh! What is he doing here? What? What is he doing here?
Ah, yes. Emmanuel de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that.
Well, you might be able to do good this time.
Should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
Yeah, I'm loving this cutscene so far. It's so good. May your graceful pouncing lead the way to victory. I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom. I'm gonna go with the first one. Be optimistic.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of daring-do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea.
Oh, Eastern Alliance? I want to see.
Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Oh. I want to see.
Would that be the Shinobi of Doma?
Yeah, I want to see Yugiri and Heian. I want to see both of them. Maybe Gosetsu as well. Oh,
Actually,
I don't know.
they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Oh my gosh. Yo, yo, this is awesome. They got the step. Yo, the step is doing stuff.
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Dang, I miss these people.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as the steppe is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group.
Right.
Monte's Tears.
I thought we probably might have some Dalmascans here.
And the Bosnian resistance.
Oh, Bosnian is coming in too.
Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage.
That's
They are
true.
particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities, which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Right, that makes sense.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire.
Right.
I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy.
That's true.
But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Baelsar himself is working to help rebuild Wurlit, a nation he once conquered.
Right.
So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good.
The Warlit storyline was so sad, dude. Daggone, just like knowing what went on with Gaius and pretty much his adoptive children was, oh my gosh, man, it tore me up.
It won't be easy. But we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Yo, what's going
We're in
on?
accord. Now, let us review our strategy.
Yeah, I got to ride the Gundam and it was so fun. So cool.
To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garland Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
So we're gonna go by boat or potentially land?
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers.
Okay.
From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities.
Alrighty.
The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
Yeah. Gosh, this is so cool. It's like
for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed.
Yeah, we will. It gives me a lot of Avengers Endgame vibes. Seeing like everyone comes together. It's so cool.
Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Look at this! Screenshot. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, seeing all of the lands coming together right there. You sure I have enough people there? I don't know, we may need like maybe a few thousand more. Maybe. Led the troops into battle many a time, but never a unit with such a diverse range of talents, right? While I've been briefed on their capabilities, I expect you could provide an additional insight in their strengths and weaknesses. I appreciate any advice you may have. Well, I pretty much fought everyone here over there, but all these other people, I did work with them. Let's do everyone else and then we'll do the Scions. Okay. Let me have a look at you. A touch nervous to enter the battlefield, perhaps? Well, I shall be out there alongside you as a temple knight, serving with your fine vine. Though I may not look it, I was the Azure Dragoon once upon a time, so you can rest assured I will give all that I have and come and fight. I certainly won't show up by you or Astinian. You got it. Yay, it's nice to see you. If it isn't Anthony, 'tis thanks in no small part that the manufacturing future is looking brighter than ever, my friend. And pleased to report that I am a handful of my colleagues have been selected to join the contingent. Ere the expedition has ended, even the Temple Knights will be singing our machinist praises, once they have borne witness to not only our mechanical proficiency, but our combat prowess too, of course. Yay! Nice to have you with us. Alright, let's see what you're gonna be doing for us. Well, if I've known what a social gathering this would turn out to be, I have a dress for an occasion. Still, this seems the perfect opportunity to mingle with the other guests. Would I be correct in assuming those ladies over yonder are Serena and Sadu of the Steppe? Perhaps I should introduce myself, though I don't much like the look of that fellow with the enormous axe. Oh yeah, Magni. Okay, Maxima, nice to see you again. I cast my lot with the populares to the bridge to divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in a common cause. But we were discouraged as a radical element, dissenters, looking to destabilize the empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I too would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I still dream of equality and peace for all of us. As the world itself stands on the brink of collapse, I hold out hope that one day that dream will become reality. Hey, how are you? It's been a while. I'm so glad I found you. I have for you a letter from the Master Haman. Let's read it together, shall we? Yeah. Now let's see here. I have every confidence that your fist shall bring the Telefroid to their knees, and should you espy any beautiful maidens thereabout, perhaps sing to them my praises. Charming master, well, more fool me for thinking that letter was contained something actually inspiring. Let's just forget this note exists and focus on the battle ahead. That's hilarious, but very much like him. Seems so long ago we were sailing across the Ruby Sea and charging about the Azim Steppe with Serena and the others. I say we're overdue for another adventure. Yeah, it'd be nice to do another one with you, Lise. It brings back memories to see so many familiar faces. We've been through so much together. Good times and not so good. I expect Garlean will be mostly the latter, but I like to believe we'll look back on these days more fondly in the years to come. But for that to happen, we'll have to make it out of this alive. Don't you die on me, aye? Same goes to you too, Lise. Pippin! Often his father told me of the struggles faced by Alamigo in the days of the occupation. And I too have crossed swords with the Empire on many occasions. Though Garlean has long been our bitter enemy, Her Grace has elected to blister the Isabar contingent with members of the Immortal Flames. As representatives of the Sultanate, we are one in our commitment to the cause. Hey, Kokobiku, how you doing? We came as quickly as we could. We would follow your example and devicitate the Telefroid in the full extent of our powers. Were it not for your brothers, busy, we will return soon enough. Alright, cool. Well, hey, how are you? I'm here representing the Marauders Guild, and it's my job to keep the Smiths out of harm's way. Mind you, with them hammers of theirs, they can put up a fair fight themselves. With a bit of luck, this will be over and done with for ye know it. Maybe when this is all over, ye could pay the Axemaster a visit. He still tells all the new recruits about the time ye killed Kojata and avenged that boy's parents. I remember it like it was yesterday. You know, I'm surprised it's not Curious George. How come it's not Curious George that's here? But, you know, I'm fine with, you know, Barn Blar. It would have been great if it was Curious George, though. But it is what it is. Sicard. Until the Empire fell, Garleans were the only ones we was allowed to impose tariffs upon sea. Weren't easy pickings, but I made myself a pretty guild. Since they've been been so generous to me and mine, perhaps it's time I returned the favor and gave a little something back. Yeah, maybe. Yo, how's it going? The scholars, that's for the scholars. Greetings, Anthony. It appears that both thou and thought are needed here, and who embodies both as well as I. So, for the time being, my search into ancient Nam must wait. Yeah, no worries. We'll get that taken care of at some point. In case you were wondering, Ishiva will be staying behind to defend the Twelveswood with my sisters. She was of the opinion she would make a useful addition to our contingent and was eager to make good on her vow to accompany me as well, which was flattering, but ultimately it was decided that her skills would be better put to use keeping our homeland safe. I am, of course, obliged to share with her every detail when I return. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd be nice for her to get to see you again. No people from Bojin I can talk to? What about Mikoto? Oh well, it's fine. Serena? I'm glad to see you well, Anthony. Grandmother was worried for you. The night I agreed to come hither and join the contingent, the gods sent her a strange dream. 2 suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer and close. As they danced, the world fell into ruin. In blinding chaos, she spied blackened silhouettes and knew at once that one was yours. Yet we knew not how to interrupt this dream, save as a sign that great dangers await. But whatever lies ahead, I will wake with you, traveler. I will walk with you, traveler. I'm guessing she's probably talking about me fighting Xenos. That's what I'm getting from that. Sadu, I care not for the Iron Men or their troubles. It is the destiny of the weak to die in ignominy. Even so, I will do as I have agreed. I volunteered to join this band of Serena's request, and if she thinks it's worthy cause, that is a reason enough. Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown strong of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any other steppe oafish men could dream to be. Oh yeah, they said Doman couldn't make it right now. Okay. Magni. With the mole champions of Nadam and the Thal, having sent so many here, I had thought to defend the steppe in their absence, and I would have done so were it not my stepbrothers. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance may deliver them unto victory. Though I must tolerate the presence of this frail dog. He's talking about Sadu. As first among my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become the stuff of legends. You bet. I bet you're gonna be real good on the battlefield if we need it. Alright, now for the Scions. Oh, there's so much reading. So much reading. Okay, Scions, starting with Alphino. We've been a part of the joint military operations like this before, and with far greater numbers. But for some reason, this feels very different to our previous experiences. Despite having shared little more than introductions, there is already a palpable sense of camaraderie. Yeah. Estinian? I did not expect to see the other former Azure Dragoon here of all places. As he well knows, I'm not one for verbose greetings. We shall instead let our lances do the talking. Once we are on the battlefield, then we'll see if others have been diligent in their training. Grahatia, this is extraordinary. To be in such company, the finest of allies have to gather with comrades such as these. We are bound to succeed. I'm certain of it. Yeah, I believe it because I worked with every one of these guys. Okay, Alizé. I was half expecting to find the man who taught me Red Mage. Yeah, I was expecting that too. Or at least, what's her name? I can't remember her name. I was expecting at least one of them that taught us Red Mage. Taught me Red Mage among our number, but he's nowhere to be seen. Wait, is it... Okay, you know. I suppose he's had his share of unpleasant experiences with the Empire, but so have we all. Perhaps there's some other reason. Well, in any case, I have a feeling I'll see him again once this is all over. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised by how much my swordplay improved since we last met. Yeah, same here. Blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies. Oh yeah, what about the Astro Illusions? And the Gunbreakers? And, let's see, who else? There's so many jobs. So many of them. It's okay. Steadfast allies and over our journey's course. Indeed, we are joined today by many new acquaintances, who in time shall come to call our comrades, and may have friends. Have close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and various resistance groups, and they're an absolute joy to work with. Oh yeah, Samurai! What about the Samurai? Alright, that's everybody. Whew! Okay, Yustola. Besides the diligence assembled here, the Almaja and several other tribes offer to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simple to survive in the harsh climate of Ishbard or Isabard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Teleforay. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by blistering our defenses in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more have been noted. We few shall have a suffice. Ere we embarked, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honors? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, I gotta say, with this music blaring in my ears, it's kind of hard to read over it. Warding scales for the Ishgardian delegation. I take it? Yep. Here you go. Many thanks. These talismans may prove to be a deciding factor of the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by the foray into Garlean, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betray. But that is doubtless why I chosen by Lord Emmerich. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and our former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald in the world of large, I will lead us to victory. Please, Lise, don't have a lot of dialogue. Please. That is the set of warding skills I spy. Not that I would know what they look like. Oh, here you go. Wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with ether. All the better to fend off the tampering waves. Is that the right term? Anyway, these will give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out. Nervous or not, I marched through all the 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. Yeesh. Alright. I hear you got something for us. Yep, here you go. Ah, them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gil or two when this is all over. But we'll hold him for now. And one more thing. I know what you're all thinking. Why don't they send Ilzen instead? Bugged if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Hellfire told me was they needed someone to help safeguard the future. And here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land, in the middle of the sodding snow of all places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever needs doing so let's set sail. Or however saying goes on to airships. Yes, here's a talisman for you. So these are the famed warding scales. Enough for me and my men, I see. I, myself, are especially grateful for this opportunity to visit distant lands. I wish to follow in the footsteps of Master A. Toya and learn of all things to learn of the star we call home. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling to read because there's so much to read. Indeed, that is the primary reason I volunteered to join the expedition. To journey outside the Twelveswood, much less enter into Imperial territory, is a rare privilege afforded a Padgel. Not that I'm tagging along to see the sights. The Garlemans would benefit from my healing magics, as would my comrades, should fighting break out. Alright. Serena! We heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Yep, here's the talisman for you. Oh, the talismans. We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. Ah, and before I forget, I have a message from Hien. Oh. In distant lands in times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. I hope I have done this word justice, Doma. Doma, like much of Orthard, has been plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared convictions. Hien and Yugiri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid will we keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe in the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Yeah. Alright, who's the last one that I must have forgot? Maxima. I don't think he had one above him. Do you have a warning scale for me too? Yep, right here. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by many to wear the coat of Isambard, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warning. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but instead that they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Now, let us proceed to the Alamegan quarter. While you make your final preparations, I have the pilots ready the airships. Alright. And they teleported me here. With more fluff dialogue. Okay. Whew. Let's do this. Since my revival, I've been lax in expanding my limitation wardrobe. Think we have time for a quick trip back to the old Charlian? I recall a rather fetching coat. Okay. Preparations. I've got my armor and my lance. What more could I need? Hey man, that's why they said prepare for yourself. It's something of a constant refrain that we require warmer clothing. My present garb may be lacking fur, color notwithstanding. Maybe. Concoctions to fortify the flesh against wind and cold are commonly sold in the Yuldan markets, though they are dubious perseverance and efficiency. It is said, however, that in recent times the Alchemist Guild have produced a tincture capable of such a feat. Mayhap the achievement of the Daranian counterparts did inspire them to action, and that they not be put to shame. This coat is quite warm, but I have something rather thicker for occasions like these. There's no telling how long we'll be out in the open. We can't go starting fires willy-nilly if we want to avoid detection. Yeah, that's true. Alize? If you've got anything you still need to take care of, you better just see to it now. I don't think I got a warm coat, from what I remember. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You needn't worry about Urianger and I. We still have what we wore in Garlean before. Estinian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. True. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise. I suppose I provided you not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. If only I had time to find something to my liking. No, you're still. I didn't know you were very fashionable. Hark, is that cry of Scions in need of tailor I hear? Who is this? Hey! Tataru! But how? Mwahaha! I have my ways. Oh yes, indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Isambard without telling me. Ha! Nothing escapes my notice. Nice to see you. It'd be nice to have her come along with us too. Now, you will wear these garments I've made for you, whether you like it or not. Do you have something fashionable for Yashtolda? You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion, rather the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creation if I never worn them myself? Ah, I did have one other thing to share. Ergamahas? I don't know both of those words. Have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. I won't want her to come with us. Since they'll be running things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Garlean. Oh, why not? You can keep Cryo company in the Baldician Enix. Yeah, it'd be nice to have someone watch over her and all that. Yes, we would love to have you there, and I've heard both of them did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we've nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't go collapsing again, because a certain someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport your soul to another world, if anything similar disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Garlean. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Oh, Tataru, we love you. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. And it's raining. Let's get going. Yeah, it was like sun, and it was going down, and it started pouring. Here are your winter woolies. Handcrafted by yours truly, the Tataru, the Omni Crafter. Nice. Dun 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 dun. I'm gonna glamour it. And everyone grabs their clothes. And the Scions like, I ain't grabbing that.